don't think there's going to be a whole lot in this room. I think that door's locked. Let's check it. Yeah, okay, let's just go upstairs. Oh man, I'm gonna be able to take all this stuff seriously? That's so much. That's probably where they get you, is they want you to be able to limit yourself to what you can take. I'll take an empty potion bottle. So this is a pot still. Like a crafting window probably, to be able to craft different scrolls and potions and stuff. Is it? No, those are candles. I thought that was money just sitting there.
Empty.
I have to change something with the audio here. Go.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime,
Nope.
your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll
Sounds
find him on
good.
the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
You pull the thing around your neck futilely. Scholar amused with the room's shape.
Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative.
Oh, we can trade her too. Should I sell back some of her own items to her? I doubt she'll take any of it. Probably get locked up for doing it, actually. So if she's got 11, I can give her a cooking pot, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, well, I'm sure a new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
Yeah. Let's just take our leave and then head out the front door. We don't need to figure out what it is again.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
I don't think there's anything of value in this room. As I say that, I find coins. Cool.
The pale young woman doesn't acknowledge you. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Just want to check and make sure that we're not dropping any frames here.
There's been a murder.
Yeah, what
The
happened?
sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it.
Well, let's
Or
lend a
are you
hand.
enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Inform her that she wasn't this man's protector, she was his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
Trying to insinuate I did it, lady?
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Oh, that's a good one. Ask if she's investigating her fellow Magisters.
Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister.
That's a fair point.
It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Yay. I like gold coins. Tell her your price is considerably higher than that. Ooh. Like hard to barter? Let's try it.
Nothing here it isn't.
Okay.
You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
So she had the ability to
Anything
trade.
interesting for me?
Boom block. A long branch. Don't think so. Let's see what we can find in this room. Go into this little cubby. What's in the crate? Oh, gold, nice. Let's see.
Ah, there you are. And would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else.
Kid, you been down by the room up the hall?
What? What's so funny?
Sure about that?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
Okay.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Yeah, that's true enough.
You'd presume right.
Let's see if she knows about the
Nope,
murder.
trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
That's one way to look at it.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it.
I'm assuming these kids are her gang, because they're playing ball right now.
You take
It's a
care,
pretty
then.
elite group.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Oh. The lady's a little weird.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe
Who's Gil?
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Clearly don't know the first thing about source.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
See what other kind of freebies we have in the room here.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Wonder if I can just take things and then sell them back to the people in this room.
I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about
Would be a good way to make some money, I guess. The next area.
I'll give you that knuckle.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper.
Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall.
Mad? No.
Alright, let's try to sell
A
some
broad
stuff back.
dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms
Oh, his
face up on
name's
his knees.
Beast.
His
Okay.
beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
That right? I always knew you'd turn out
The
rotten.
ship, of course.
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
The sea is angry.
The
Sounds like a good
fellow
one.
cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeeze!
Aha!
He's talking about the boat
His
noise.
eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back, the other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Oh, pretty
My
insightful.
beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away
Eh, no indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
Your Majesty.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
when you clearly don't know the first thing about swords.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right?
That was an interesting conversation.
Ben Mest.
Alright, let's try to sell
I
them.
didn't do nothing, okay? It was one of them. One of your people. Human.
You've got this wolf on a leash
Nice.
now.
is the Inquisitor.
Guess I should probably keep one of those, huh?
Right over the side of the ship with it.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague.
Alright, let's move on.
There's nothing
I'm
else.
busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
Okay.
Are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen
A
courses.
scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Don't you get saucy with me.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Ifan, huh? Wait. Oh, I'm talking to Ifan, but the Magister Victor is over there talking.
Rolling
Okay.
his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Ask him why the Magister suspects him of
We used to
murder.
know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Yeah, still curious about the murder, dude.
The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of
Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself.
There's nothing else I can make.
The Ringmaster.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner.
Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Name?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you. At once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back.
Well, fair enough.
What?
Oh, we
Make it
can
clear the first time.
trade him.
Scram.
Tomato. Likened to armor for its scaly appearance, particularly tough strain of fungus highly sought after by potion brewers. Let's see if we can take some of his gold off of him too.
Ask what you must.
I don't think I need that many beds.
Seems to me you should be
A bed and a pillow.
afraid. There's a killer about after all.
Gotta get used to not hitting escape like that.
Cabbage becomes a crime. I shall hold my head steady.
I'm getting stacked with gold. 36 gold already?
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
What's fascinating about my skin?
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Ask who he's speaking to? Ruffle his hair. A little inappropriate.
Yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water.
It is pleasurable to meet you.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Hardly. I've been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle.
The middle?
Tell me, what do you know of your... our world's history?
The history of the rebellion. There's the history of the Divine Order.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already.
I have a feeling he was going to say that no matter
No.
what.
I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of...
Well, just don't know.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Oh well. Seems like a lot of these are just lost conversations.